Kamau Bell, welcome back to the Daily Social Distancing Show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. It's very convenient when I can do it in my house. I like this.
Is this are you used to this new life yet?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very used to this. I can't imagine ever getting on a plane ever again. But I feel like once we get the vaccine, I'm good doing everything in my garage.
You're just gonna stay the way you are. You're just gonna be in your garage living your life.
Yeah, I will Skype into interviews for United Shades of America. Like, yeah, what's life like there? Yeah.
I've actually got a question for you, and you will be honest with me because you're a comedian. I don't trust most people, but I trust comedians. You have kids. You have very young kids. Three kids now,
Three
right?
kids. Yeah.
School is coming back soon. Now, whenever I talk to people, there's obviously people who are like, oh no, I worry my kids, I won't send them back to school. And then there's people, politically, kids must go back, it's time. But you're a parent and you're a comedian, so you'll tell the truth. Are you willing to risk them and send them back to school? Be real with me, Kamau.
I'm not willing to sacrifice my kids or my health just so that I can have 8 hours away from them. No, no. I mean, as much as
Okay.
school is daycare, a lot of it is just like getting your kids to go someplace so you can go like this. Whoo! It's not that serious. And I don't.
So
Yeah.
are you teaching them then?
I mean, they're learning some things. They're learning about podcasting and they're learning about how to adjust light for TV appearances. We're learning some things.
I feel like you've just made your kids child laborers. That's all you've done. You're just giving them like technical skills.
Yeah.
That's like all the crew for your show is just gonna be like my child, my child, my child, my child, my child.
Today, that's how Zoom calls work. Yeah, I mean, but also, I'm in a privileged place. My wife's in a privileged place where our kids are going to learn because we are going to teach them, and we have conversations in the house.
Right.
Talk about George Floyd. They know about the coronavirus. I'm a good parent, so I bought those summer books you get for kids where they can think they're not learning, but they are learning. So they're going to learn. I'm more worried about their mental growth and how they're being affected by this.
Let's talk about the show, United Shades. Your show is an Emmy-winning show, and I think that's for a reason. It takes a different look at America, the issues that we think we know so well. One of my favorite episodes was about the gig economy. We've become so addicted to the gig economy. We want our Uber, we want our Postmates, we want our food delivered, we want our things picked up, our garden, but we don't know how it works, and we don't know what it's like for the people in it. You took a job in this world. You basically went to work for real in the gig economy. Is it sustainable, or is it like a very, is it just above being like horrible labor?
Well, I think the advertisements say things like it's a way to make extra money, so you can make some extra cash. But for most people, it's how they make money, because their full-time job doesn't pay them enough to pay all their bills and take care of their
Right.
family. So they have to get a gig economy job to supplement that. And the gig economy jobs, you don't have worker protections, you don't have benefits. If you're an Uber driver, you're bringing down the value of your car every time you pick somebody up, and Uber's not covering for that. So that's the problem with the gig economy. I think those of us who use it, it works for us. But if you're being used by it, it doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah, man. I think that's one of the things that not just myself, but so many other people love about your show is that it's topics that we know well, and then you tackle it from an angle and you talk to people who we wouldn't necessarily hear from.
Yeah.
So it's the gig economy. You're talking about farming in America. You spend a lot of time talking about racism. You love talking about racism.
I love it so much. I mean, I'd like to talk more about Bruce Lee, but apparently that's not what my job is. So yeah.
You have an episode coming up that I think is really going to be fun or illuminating at least, and it's about reparations.
Yes.
Now, reparations seems like one of those topics that only has there's two possible forks in the road. It is no reparations, and you give the black people a lot of money, and that's that. But you've gone out and you started talking to people, and you met with the descendants of slaves. You met with people who are pushing for different types of reparations. Have you learned anything new that we don't know about in our normal discussions?
I mean, I think one thing's for sure. We have this idea that every black person wants reparation. First of all, that's not true. Many black people are not for reparations. But even amongst the black people who support reparations, they don't all want it the same way. And so I think that's the problem, is that when the subject of reparations comes up, mostly it gets shut down by people who are like, nope, 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 nope. I'm a white person. I can't even stomach even thinking about that. But in actuality, if we have the discussion, a lot of black people think differently about reparations. But to quote Nicole Hannah-Jones, if it doesn't come with cash, that's racist.
It was interesting to me to see some of the people saying they would use reparations to build better schools in their neighborhood, to build better facilities, and I was like, you're just talking about like the government's job right now. It's insane that like some black people are like, I want the government to give me money so that I can just do what the government hasn't basically done.
Well, yeah, I think that's a lot of people we talked to in New Orleans were like, we would just like our neighborhoods to be back where they were in like the 50s and 60s, back when black neighborhoods have their own little downtown district and black people own their own businesses. They're like, we're not looking for the future. Just take us back to the recent past.
Let me ask you this. You talk to some people who without your show, I don't think you'd ever talk to, like whether it's like people who are in the Klan, used to be in the Klan, very racist, very homophobic, very anything. And I'm not gonna lie, you seem to get along well with them as human beings. Like you seem to like, and you are very black as Kamau Bell. I mean, like you know what I'm saying. It's not like you're sneaking in. You're a black person.
For white when I sit down
exactly.
With
you come in as a black man. They see you as a black man, and then you guys seem to get along.
I'm huge. 9 feet tall, 400 pounds.
So I wanted to know, have you maintained any type of friendship with these people post the show, or has it just like, are you just like, do you get to know them as human beings, or are they just cordial to you as Kamau Bell as an individual, and they're not now like cool with black people?
Yeah, I mean, certainly it's not, I always say it's not American History X where I do laundry with them for an hour and then they come out and go, man, I shouldn't be a racist anymore. It's not quite that easy, if only it was. But I do think people go, oh, this is not what I expected. I see this guy differently. Like I did get some emails after I talked to the Klan, like they were sort of like excited for the show to come out. I don't encourage those types of friendships. But I have stayed in touch with people, and there are people that I see, like we did an episode about guns, and the guy who sold me the gun, we may think differently on guns, but we've like stayed in touch, and he keeps watching the show. And so I feel like it's not going to happen in one day or one conversation. The thing I understand about this whole racism discussion is that, and the whole ending of racism, it's a long struggle, and it takes time. I don't know if you know anything about that, being from South Africa.
No. We're all good over there.
Okay.
Do you think that that's part of the solution? Which, I mean, it's not feasible because I don't think there are enough black people to enact this. But do you think part of the solution is having more conversations than we currently have in society? Because right now we live in a binary society, especially online. But do you think from your experience that some of it, could be helped by the conversations, or is that just like a hopeful mythical world that we sometimes dream of?
I mean, some of it can be helped by the conversation. But if those people don't go into the voting booth and vote based on what they learned in the conversation, then it's just a conversation. So I think sometimes we over-prioritize the conversation. Like me and that racist had a conversation. That felt good. But it's actually like about how people evolve over time. And I think that's the conversation is a part of that.
I know I got to let you go. You got to go back to teaching and being.
Got to go back over there.
If you have to make another season of your show now, what would you make the show about?
I mean, I think every season we sort of feel like there's one theme that sort of is going through the season. And this past season, it really felt like American capitalism is not doing well by Americans. And I feel like the pandemic has just proven that again. And right now, I think next season is going to be about how do we dismantle these systems? I think if you talk about abolish the police or defund the police, all those things are about like the system is actually what's broken. It's not individuals in the system so much. We have to take on the system. So no big deal. I'm just going to take down the American system of capitalism and government next season on United Shades.
Hey man,
hopefully I'll win me.
If you're getting emails from the Klan, anything is possible, my friend. Stay safe out there. Say hi to your family. Enjoy them, and I hope to see you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks for being on.